Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Kingdom's Queens podcast. We are officially in the final week of the regular season of the NFL, which is kind of bittersweet. I feel like this season flew the heck by, and somehow we're in week 18, and it's the new year, so happy new year, everybody, from your Kingdom's Queens. We got a lot to talk about today, even though we already recapped the games from last week, but or the Chiefs games from last week, but so we don't have a lot of Chiefs stuff to recap, but there's a lot going on around the NFL. And then Chiefs backups are going to be playing this week, so we have a lot of fun stuff to dive into with you guys. But I'm your host, Lexi.
Hey, y'all, what's up? I'm Jodi. Happy New Year.
Hey, hi guys. Thanks for tuning in with us on a Friday afternoon before a blizzard.
2 Friday shows. What's wrong with us? Who are we?
I blame Christmas and New Year's.
God bless.
Because I watched a TikTok today where the guy was like, petition to ban Christmas and New Year's being on a Wednesday because it's messed up everyone's entire life.
Literally.
Like, it's now, what day? It's Friday. It feels like it feels like Tuesday. I don't know what day it feels like, but not Friday.
It's like one of the Mondayest Fridays I've ever dealt with.
Genuinely, like,
what in the heck is happening?
It's not Friday, but here we are. So, I want to dive into our first sponsor, which is Pink Lips Cosmetics. And I keep trying because she sent us all these really fun products. So I just keep trying them weekly. And I'm like, so today I have the combo of this Lady Boss matte red lipstick, which is super cool. Goes on really easy. And then I have the Superstar little pink gloss that goes over it. So
cute.
Fun little combo, but I feel like it worked out pretty well. It's a bright red lip, but I kind of love it. So pink lips.
Past Halo. Halo is my addiction.
Yes.
It's almost gone, actually.
Right. Like, we've been using this stuff and we love it. So we're going to have to restock soon. But we love having Pink Lips as a sponsor of our show. They are it's actually woman-owned, based out of Kansas City. And she's also sold in Targets and Walmarts across the country. Really great products. Pretty clean ingredients, and they have all kinds of stuff, not just lip stuff. That's just what I rock with, what we roll with every week. But she has eyebrow pencils, she has contour sticks, she has powders.
I love the finishing powders. The finishing powders are almost like my favorite. Oh, and I have used the concealer, so I still use the concealer. And I use the finishing powder. Like, those are the 3 things that are like in my daily routine.
Yeah. No, we love their products. So use our promo code for 15% off with KQ15 on Pink Lips Cosmetics. That's KQ Kingdom's Queens 15 at Pink Lips Cosmetics.
Love it. Go to the website. And I think she actually is having like a promotion right now on certain lips. She has something right now that's like only $5. And I was like,
I think it's one of the glosses or something, and it's really good. So check it out, because $5. Hello.
Like, why the heck not? Well,
get yourself right for the new year.
Literally. Shout out to Pink Lips. We truly appreciate that brand. So let's kind of get into the NFL. So like Lexi said, we had 2 games last week, and we haven't had anything yet so far. And our next game is Sunday, but there has been some NFL news that has happened just over the course of the last few days, specifically today with the great news that kind of woke up the whole entire world with Jalen Watson being not activated, but back open now to the 21-day window, which could not be more perfect in a sense that the Chiefs technically don't. I know they haven't announced the date yet, but it's more than likely they're going to play on January 18th. And I mean, today's only the 3rd, which gives him another 15 days of just like practicing and really just kind of getting back in his element and all that good stuff. Plus, Mecole Hardman returned back to practice today too, which we all know that he has been on the IR battling his injury that he was having with his knee. So really great to see both of these guys back on the roster. I think we could just dive into Jalen Watson. Like, he is CB2 on this team, and him coming back onto this roster really kind of not only opens things up, but it puts a lot of guys back into where they should actually be in their correct position. Trent McDuffie's not outside corner, he plays inside. So being able to allow him to go back to the slot and letting Jalen be that big body corner receiver back into his role on the outside is like, holy moly.
Yeah. I woke up at like 7 a.m. and I didn't really have anything to be up for today. So I was like, let me go back to sleep. Yeah. Woke back up, and then I wake up to the news that Jalen Watson has been activated from IR. And I'm like, no freaking way. Hey, we've been on the Jalen Watson train over here.
Yeah. Oh, he's not talking about us. He's talking about the people.
But Jalen Watson, you guys, he has been so crucial to our defense for our two-peat in a row. All he's known is winning Super Bowls.
He's a winner.
That whole draft class, but we'll get into that another time. But Jalen Watson, he's been fantastic. All training camp, we needed someone to step up, and it was kind of between him and Joshua Williams, Najee Johnson, that kind of thing. And while I will say Najee and Joshua had a share of struggles, they did do well enough to where we were still winning those games, and our defense wasn't really letting us down too much. So, it wasn't that bad, but Jalen Watson kind of took our defense to another level all 7 games he played this year alongside Trent McDuffie. If you saw the charts of them, they're both at the top of the charts with defending, and they're. Let me find his percentage. I don't know if you want to give a little filler. I'll find his little.
Yeah, no. Here's my thing about Najee Johnson and Joshua Williams. One, they're both two completely different style of cornerbacks also. And if you know the history of these guys, Najee Johnson is more of a safety. That was what his position was, and they transitioned him into a corner role. So for those two guys being able to come in here and kind of stepping into this role that they did not know that they were going to have to with Jalen Watson's injury. You couldn't be more proud of overcoming that adversity. And our defense, we tell y'all all the time, we've told y'all this for the last 2 football seasons. This defense doesn't really get going until December. And if you've seen in the last few weeks, the uptick in the trends that they're taking to be in a positive direction, they're very on trend for who they are as a team.
Next. Well, and the takeaways over the past few weeks and the interception. It's been
all of that. It was, I believe and I know we haven't had a game, but they've had 10 turnovers in the last 3 games. So that's incredibly impressive considering the front half of the year, they weren't getting the ball back. Can barely hit the quarterback or get a turnover. So to see, I don't care about what happens in October. I don't care about what happens in September. Everything that matters for this team is going to show up now in December, and we are literally it's correct. January. Jesus Christ.
Well,
it's January.
It might as well still be December, but yeah.
The games were technically in December. We're right. But that's what's most important is what happens in December and January. And can your team do that? And we're seeing that a lot of teams can't do that. So we'll see. But I know you pulled that chart up about J-Watt.
So Jalen Watson this season specifically, opposing quarterbacks complete 60.8% of passes against Kansas City when Watson is on the field versus, which this is a nasty number, 66.6 completion when Watson is absent. So we don't like the devil's number. We'll get that out of here.
Yeah. Round up.
That's why we need him back. So when Jalen Watson's on the field, opposing quarterbacks complete 60% of their passes versus when he's off the field at 66.6. So Jalen Watson being back in that role is going to be fantastic for our defense.
He's a difference.
We also haven't seen Charles Omenihu and Jalen Watson on the field at the same time this season.
Correct.
So both of those guys help open our defense up in a different way. And
absolutely. And we've seen what Charles Minute has been already doing for this team in the very few short weeks that he's been back. Like, not only the pressure that he's been able to get on that line, but how it's really letting the secondary kind of get into their groove and not have to play in different roles that they're not used to, which is why they're creating turnovers. So being able to have Charles Minute back, who is major, but then and now here's the one thing like Chiefs fans need to remember too, right? Like, so we haven't seen Jalen Watson in over 10 weeks. And while it's great, like we're seeing him on social media running around like a crazy person, because I'm gonna tell you this, if I broke my fibula, I'm still on the couch crying and bitching about it. I'm gonna be real honest with you. Like, what you mean up running? No, there's no way.
No. Pro athletes are built so much different than the regular person. Like, us regular people, well, also we don't get the best care in the world. So like,
exactly,
these guys are they're also like insane athletes, like the best in the world, right? And he's proven that 2 years in a row that he's one of the best in the world. But then on top of that, you're getting the best care and you're getting like all the best resources that you need to recover. Right. It's also what we saw with Isaiah Pacheco. They both made, they both made recoveries from a very similar injury. So actually, I want to shout out to the Chiefs training staff and all the people that are on that make the difference on this team, because we are so healthy. I think our biggest loss going into these playoffs is Rashee Rice. And
I literally earlier tweeted and was like, is it too late to give him my knee to be back by the Super Bowl?
Right.
Like, we could go into surgery today if you need.
I will. Yeah, we will lend a knee.
Just saying. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mentioned that earlier too. Like, you have to give so much respect to these players and just their work ethic, but to the Chiefs medical and training staff, to their personal trainers who are also working with them around the clock and doing treatment and all these things to get them there. Because there are, when you look at all 32 teams in the NFL, there's lots of teams where they're having players who have season-ending injuries. And those guys aren't coming back. Now, I will say, like, that is another reason why, like, the bye week is so important, because they do get these extra days of just reps in practice. But, I'll say the only other team that you're kind of seeing this with right now is the Lions. You're starting to see some of their guys kind of come back ready to go into the postseason. So, and you just got to really commend these people who are helping get these people to where they need to be. Now, let me ask you this. Does Jalen Watson play in the division game, or do you save him for the AFC Championship
game? Knowing Andy Reid the way we know him, I think if Jalen plays in the division game, it's going to be limited snaps.
I don't know if we see him. Like, I agree. Well, so wait, right? We also did not think we were going to see the snaps that we saw from Hollywood Brown on his return. And he had a serious uptick. He had way more than I thought he was going to have.
He did, but even then he was still like limited, but it was more than we thought.
Yeah. It was way more than I thought.
Now, I think the advantage, right. I think the advantage with having him back is this was his first day of practice, and he looked, I think,
water.
well, hey, yeah, she actually was supposed to drink the quirk with me, and she.
I know. I was like, I'm probably gonna drink way too much wine while I'm stuck in the house.
One of our sponsors, so I'm repping. But what was I gonna say? Oh my gosh!
We're talking about, is Jay Watt gonna play in the divisional round?
Oh, okay. So the advantage to having him back for me is, even if he's on limited snaps, let's just say whoever's in his place, Joshua Williams, Najee Johnson, whether that be Keith Taylor, Christian Roland Wallace, any of those guys, if those guys are back there and it's not going well, you can put Jalen Watson in.
Absolutely.
So I think you can start him off on limited snaps, and if like we're getting cooked by whoever we're playing and they can't hold it down, I think there's a good chance that I think our first opponent is either going to be the Steelers, the Texans, or the Chargers.
Yeah.
I think that's our.
And I don't even think I think it's going to be the Steelers or the Texans.
Yeah, I think so
and
too.
we just seen both of them, and we what we did against both of them, especially from a defense perspective. Yeah. So, and I do think that we were holding back both games.
Like we showed a little bit. We showed what we needed to show.
Yeah, like we're not about to give y'all the whole cookie jar. Like what? No, never. I would not be surprised though if Andy was like, "All right, Jalen, here you go. We're gonna let you come out here and play maybe the first quarter, and that's it.
Kind of see how it goes." Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. And that's just more so like, let's get the rust off. Let's get the training wheels off. Let's get the snap counts down. Get back familiar with the field. Where's the clock? Where's this? Where's that? Like those type of things. Just so he can get that familiarity back. Listening to the green dot, Spags yelling from the sidelines. Maybe like those type of things. But I think that would literally be it. But again, if he needs to be out there, he absolutely needs to be out there.
You can put him out there. Yeah. So I think it's a really, really good sign that he's back this week. He was back today. Andy said he looked good from what he saw. I saw some people being like, do you think he's going to play the Broncos game? I'm like, hell no. No, he's not playing the Broncos game.
Absolutely not.
And actually, I think
they actually already said he's out.
I was going to say, yeah, they already said he's out. So
I actually laughed really hard. Y'all, okay, so I've been at Target like 3 times in the last 3 days.
Yeah.
Don't blame me, blame the snowstorm, right?
Blame the snow.
So I was laughing at the Chiefs at their tweet, which I'm pulling it up right now because I just want to read it out loud. And I was like, this is the funniest tweet I've ever read in my life. Chris Jones, Patrick Mahomes, Trent McDuffie, Nick Bolt, Kareem Hunt, George Karlaftis, Travis Kelce, Justin Reed, and Drew Tranquilor, all doubtful for Sunday's game. Isaiah Pacheco, Jawan Taylor, Mecole Hardman, and Jalen Watson are out. When I say I laughed for like a solid 2 minutes because that's like my favorite type of trolling. Okay? Because you did not have to literally list 20 out of the 53 men.
The entire team.
Like they had to use their check for real to make sure that they didn't run out of space while typing this tweet out. I laughed uncontrollably. What would have made me laugh even more is if like they had to then go under the tweet to finish the tweet. Like
yeah. Also,
I would have died laughing. That was an amazing tweet.
I would say really quickly. Now, Bengals fans are hilarious because they, under every single post about the Chiefs resting their starters, it's, the Chiefs are scared of the Bengals. They're resting because they're scared of the Bengals. Oh my gosh, we're terrified. They're terrified of the Bengals. We are. I know you don't believe in your heart of hearts and deep down in your soul that Andy Reid is scared of you, and that's why he's resting his starters this week. I know you don't really believe that.
The way that I need them to focus on the Steelers first, and then maybe the Bills or the Ravens. Like y'all got so many other things to worry about.
Y'all got a gauntlet. Y'all got a gauntlet to go through if you make it in.
Trying to gaslight us to make again.
They said they were gaslighting us.
It don't work for us. And we said this last Friday. Like, maybe y'all should have handled business through the regular season. Have you caught up on Hard Knocks yet?
No, I keep meaning to, but I have not yet. I caught up on it the other day. I think. But
Hard Knocks, y'all, if y'all are not watching Hard Knocks yet, it's AFC North. And if you don't know, the Chiefs play them. So it's so funny watching. I think like the most like thing that I've taken that I love the most about watching it is listening and seeing how they game plan for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That has been the highlight of the show for me. Yeah. Seeing it. I always love seeing it from the other side and the other perspective. So like hearing the Steelers and Mike Tomlin talking about like preparing for the Chiefs and what that looks like. And then like hearing all the other teams kind of go through that, I was just like, this is fantastic. Like all of
so great.
Patrick Mahomes, I'm like, that's right. He's like that. You're never going to be ready for him.
No. And I was listening to the ones, I think the one where we played the Browns and how they were talking about it. And they were like, still, like, the main topic of conversation is Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. And everyone wants to say, oh, Travis has fallen off. And I'm like, do y'all realize he's still the main
Super Bowl? Yeah, cool.
Do you realize he's still the main like guy they're focusing on our offense? Like, do you not?
You would be ridiculous to not.
The moment
you switch up is stop. The moment
you switch up on Travis
not a factor, he's gonna go for 35 yards on you.
Like,
do it if you want to.
We saw that against the Steelers. He was wide open in the end zone, wide ass open in the end zone.
I think that's a very great transition to the next topic. So the NFL has announced the Pro Bowl the Pro Bowl select people.
Oh yeah.
I have lots of things to say. Actually, I'm trying to think if I said something positive. But I do want to make sure that we announce who those 5 guys are, which I mean, holy moly. So back to talking about Travis Kelce being like that and being that guy. I think this is his 10th Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, 10th. Let me double check, but let me.
I think it's 10. I think this is his 10th Pro Bowl. Shout out to Creed Humphreys. Shout out to Trey Smith. You gotta love that.
First one. It's his first one.
Gotta love it. Chris Jones, because duh. And Joe Tooney. I mean, like, now the joke is, how the heck did the whole entire pretty much Chiefs O-line make the Pro Bowl and a Chris Jones? You know, that's kind of funny to like think about. But you know, it's very important to protect your quarterback at the same time. But
listen, our interior O-line is elite. Apparently, they're the only interior O-line this season to not allow a sack. It's our tackles that have been.
The moment your guard can switch to tackle mid-season, then we can talk about it. Please say whatever you were about to say. I have to step aside for like.
I was gonna say, so Travis Kelce with his Pro Bowls. Let's see. He's a 9-time Pro Bowler as of last season. So yeah, this will be his 10th Pro Bowl. So Travis Kelce making it once again is a beautiful thing. Say all you want about like Swifties getting him in, whatever. We love the Swifties too, of course. But Travis has made it in on his own accord for a long time. So I think the biggest snub, though, that we'll dive into for me, and I'm sure you agree, is Trent McDuffie.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that.
Not happy about the situation for Trent McDuffie at all, because he was not only an All-Pro last year, still not a Pro Bowler, which how? He'll probably be an All-Pro again this year.
He'll definitely be All-Pro, which is great. Actually, I think that's better.
Oh, 100% is better, but it doesn't help his pockets.
No, it doesn't.
Then I hate that tweet from Jordan talking about the one about Trent McDuffie not making a Pro Bowl 2 years in a row and how much money that took out of his pocket.
Yeah.
I can pull it up real quick. But long story short, Trent McDuffie, of course, he came to this team in the 2020 class, which is the best freaking class that you've seen from Chiefs in like forever, right? And we know Trent is a 2-time Super Bowl champion, trending to be a 3-time Super Bowl champion, right? And he has not been a Pro Bowler yet, which I don't understand. So I just kind of want to let you guys know a little bit of information right now on why I was so angry, and I was like, I could tell that this is a fan vote. I don't care. But there's still people who make the final decision on who can go to the Pro Bowl or not. And this is why I think that the Pro Bowl vote is a joke.
It is a joke.
Seriously.
Did you see Justin Reed said that too? He was like, in favor of Trent McDuffie, Justin Reed was like, the way the voting is a joke. Like,
So I want to just read this really quickly from Jordan Schultz. If y'all aren't following him, you should definitely follow him. But he says, so, for example, Trent McDuffie has never been selected for the Pro Bowl original ballot. So his fifth-year option of $12.7 million, he's going to pretty much make that. However, if he would have made the Pro Bowl at least once, he would get $17.1 million. But if he would have made it twice, he would get $20 million. So I know people don't take the Pro Bowl vote seriously and things of that nature, but that's a difference of $8 million.
Right.
And yes, Brett Veach is going to take care of
Trent he will.
Like,
right. We'll
no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But it's a fact.
No, like
he's been snubbed for sure.
And I understand there's like Chiefs derangement syndrome. Like people are tired of the Chiefs. I get it. Like we're exhausted of the Chiefs, right? But we got other players in, and Trent McDuffie is arguably, I don't want to say more deserving than anyone that got in, because I agree that everyone that got in.
He is. The only other corner I would agree with is PS2. He's better than everybody else.
Okay. So let's agree.
Everybody.
No. I meant from the Chiefs team though. I meant from like our own team.
Yeah.
But
I mean, when you have here's where I got angry, Lexi. The Kansas City Chiefs are a 15-1 football team that has overcome a ton of adversity. And I'm not going to say they've overcome more adversity than any other team this season, because the Lions have went through a lot. The Vikings have went through a lot. And there are a lot. The Niners have went through a lot. A lot of teams went through a lot, right? And it's really important to understand coaching, because coaching is going to help you be 15-1. You have a 15-1.
Is everything, yeah. Coaching is everything.
Back-to-back Super Bowls, locked in the 1 seed, getting ready to three-peat, and there's only 5 total Pro Bowlers, but then you have teams like the Ravens who have 9? What? Make it make sense.
All I can do is laugh, because how
9.
So that's what Nick Wright was saying, is like, you're telling me the Chiefs don't have the best defense, right? Because Chris Jones is the only one to have made it.
Literally.
Trent McDuffie didn't make it. And
you could say George Karlaftis should be on it.
You could say George, you could say Nick Bolton.
Yeah. And Trent.
My thing is, okay, so Derek Stingley Jr. from the Texans. He's a good player, not as good as Trent this season.
Not as good as Trent, no.
Stat-wise, he's not.
No.
Pat Surtain, the second, great player, also hasn't been as good as McDuffie this season.
And he would be the only person who I would say should be on there.
He should be on it, which I am fine with him being on it.
The only other person I would say.
Fine with him being on it. He also let Jamar Chase run all over him, and Trent McDuffie did not. I digress. Marlon Humphrey for the Ravens.
The Ravens defense has been so terrible all season long until like the last maybe 1 or 2 weeks.
And
when they went against the Texans, who have been playing equally as bad.
My thing is, Marlon Humphrey for me is more of a name right now.
Absolutely.
He hasn't done anything of significance this year that I'm like, oh yeah, he should be on it.
No, that secondary has been getting cooked for 3/4 of the season.
Same with Denzel Ward on the Browns.
That's embarrassing.
Like, why is
it's giving that because y'all were on Hard Knocks and people know y'all name. That's why.
You know, Denzel Ward, he is a good player. He's been a name for a few years now. I understand that part, but like Trent McDuffie, hello.
You're not better than Trent McDuffie.
Back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and he's like locked down till he dies. Like, he does not let anyone do anything on him.
He's allowed is not better than Trent
McDuffie. I think has allowed like 1 touchdown this season.
1, correct. 1. And I mean, sure, George Pickens got 1 big catch on him. Fine. So what? Oh, it's fine.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So Trent should be on there. It shouldn't even be a question. Peter Schrager from Good Morning Football said Trent McDuffie is like arguably his favorite player in the NFL right now. So if that tells you anything.
Yeah, I was And it's so funny because he's having like the humble conversation of, oh, it's not really a big deal. It's fine.
For sure.
I'm not worried about it. He's gonna take it just like because Patrick Mahomes also didn't make the Pro Bowl, guys.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that.
What? Patrick has been playing lights out the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I get it. Actually, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't.
Because even if you're having a terrible season, which this is arguably his probably worst season as a Chief, his team is 15-1. He led his team.
I actually think last year was worse.
Last year was a mess, but I take that as everybody being a mess. Like I look at that as like a collective of a mess from everybody on the offense. But I mean, no, Patrick Mahomes also not making a Pro Bowl. Like it's so funny because like Bobby Stroop tweeted and he was like noted or something like got it, check. Like
good. He said good.
Yeah, good. That should tell y'all everything y'all need to know.
Well, so that Bobby's going to be yelling to Patrick all week in their workouts that Patrick's not good enough. Joe Burrow and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are all better than you, Patrick. What do you got to say about that?
Burrow being 8-8 and being a Pro Bowler.
And I have Bills fans trying to tell me Burrow belongs in there over Mahomes. I'm like...
Jamar Chase is the only person off of the Bengals roster that should be a Pro Bowler. And that's just because he's gonna get a triple crown. That's literally it.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
It's insane.
I'm not about to sit here argue with dumb people.
No.
That's it. You're 8-8. Win more games.
And then it's like, well, wins aren't a QB stat. I'm like, then what is? Like, y'all use wins as a QB stat when it fits your narrative, and then you don't when it doesn't fit your narrative. So if Patrick Mahomes were 8-8, could you even imagine the wrath?
I remember what it was like losing 6 games last
year.
Which brings up another point. Remember all of the slander that not only this Chiefs team got, but how mediocre Patrick was and how not good the Chiefs are and blah, blah, blah. For having 6 losses. Where is that same energy for the 8-loss Bengals?
They're like praised like crazy. It doesn't matter.
Joe Burrow has
crazy.
Done so many great things to bring this. They're on a
4-game
winning streak. Cut the crap.
Y'all, they need to figure out how to be good early on in the season because they always start off slow, but this is like slower than ever.
Y'all have 8 losses. Y'all suck.
And they have locker issues. Like I don't know.
It's giving mediocre, and I don't know how else to explain it. But that's your Chiefs Pro Bowlers. We're so excited for them. We are very happy for our 5 guys that made it. I'm really excited for it. It is what it is. Like we're happy for our 5 guys.
It is what it is. I'm definitely happy for Trey Smith, though, getting his first one. That's super exciting.
Me too. It's definitely going to help out when it's time for him to get into contract negotiations next season. So, happy about that. So, I guess there are other things that happen in the NFL.
A few other things.
Tua's not playing. Okay. I don't think I realized that Tua wasn't playing. Oh, and it's a Jets must win. So, I mean... Tua being out, which for what? What's the injury? Leg? Hip?
I think it's shoulder. I think
shoulder. Yeah. I mean, okay. Now I will say this: the Dolphins are trying to lock in like that last playoff spot, right? So where it is kind of important for him to maybe be out there and play. Can they? I don't even know where their game is this week.
It's in New York.
And it's freezing in New York right now.
And it's cold.
It's freezing in New York right now. And we already kind of know Tua's not injury history. We already know Tua's history when it comes against playing against cold weather teams, especially during that time of year. They probably weren't going to win anyway. So that's just really unfortunate for them because what's his name? Who plays for the Dolphins?
Tyler Huntley?
No.
Defense. Calais Campbell?
Yes. So Calais Campbell has been stating that he wants to be off of the team if they don't make it to the playoffs, and he wants to go to a winning team. That just screams back to the Ravens to me. Or the Lions, where they could really, really use another body, offense or defense at this point. But I do see, like, if the Dolphins lose on Sunday, I could see him being signed to would you be surprised? I'm very interested to see the active roster and if he plays. Like, what if he's a healthy scratch on Sunday? That should tell you that he is going to be shipped up out of there and sent to a contender. And
I don't know, like,
use him right now.
I don't know what they're trying to do, because I would think in a must-win game, if you were Tua, you'd be doing every single thing you could to play. This injury, I think, is something that he had from college, so it's like a re-aggravated injury, which sucks and it's horrible. But, I feel like, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. I feel like if it were Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, I feel like they're playing through it.
Yeah, no, they are. Absolutely.
Like, especially Mahomes and Josh, they play through everything.
Yeah, and Lamar.
Everything. And Lamar too. He's missed a few playoff things, but like, if he can go, like, if those guys can go, they will go. Even Burrow, honestly.
I was about to say, I would even give Joe Burrow that night. I think, especially if it was week 1 or week 2, okay. It's week 18. And this
you need
game
to
get to the playoffs. So, but I also think there's just some things going on in that locker room anyway, which I don't genuinely care about. But I do think that there's some things just kind of happening there to where they're not really syncing in chemistry. I mean, you see all the things coming from Tyreek Hill as well. And him cheering for the Chiefs is utterly hilarious because it's like,
have to. I love it. All of our enemies have to cheer for us. I love it.
I mean, but he was doing it before this.
Yeah.
Silently cheering for us before this.
He knows what he left, so
literally. So the Colts, it's a hot mess in Indianapolis.
Oh my god!
I don't know what they're.
So to recap, they should have won. They should have won on Sunday against the Giants, and they let the Giants not blow them out because they kept up, but like the Giants put like 45 points on them.
Which is
the Giants with Drew Lock.
And the number 1 pick.
and the number
1 pick. And they won. Which lets me know.
So now the Giants are out of that.
Which lets me know Drew Lock is kind of like, here's a big F you. Because he's not going to be on that team next year. He's already mad about just like how they did him throughout the season anyway. That's a whole nother conversation. But yeah.
Thanks, Liz.
And is Anthony Richardson even playing this week?
I don't even think they've said, and I haven't really heard.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't matter now because they're out of it. So
he shouldn't play. I mean, basically, correct. The Giants came back. They won the game. The Giants winning eliminated the Colts when they had more than ample opportunity to win that game. And they were at home, right? So losing that game, bad coaching, bad everything, like from the top down. That was just bad. They really need to burn it down and start completely over. Now, I am very interested in having this conversation about Saquon Barkley. So if you guys did not know, I believe he's only like 107. No. What's the number? 107?
It's something let me see.
101?
Something like that. It's like 100.
Yeah, it's like right at 100. So the story is, so he could have played on week. As we all know, the Eagles are going to the playoffs.
101.
101. Okay. As we all know, the Eagles are going to the playoffs, and they're definitely Super Bowl contenders. So they are in a situation to where they don't need to start any of their starters for week 18 because they already got it locked in. They're already in the playoffs. They're not going to get the 1 seed. It is what it is.
Right.
Saquon Barkley is only 101 yards away from beating Eric Dickerson's record of 2,000 rushing yards he hit 2,000 rushing yards last week. I'm sorry. He had 2,000 rushing yards last week, but it would be 2101 apparently, right? Or 2100.
So
he needs 101 yards, right?
Yeah. So Eric Dickerson had 2105 in a single.
Got it.
So Saquon's 101 yards from that.
So they asked his head coach, Nick Sirianni, who we all hate, asked him on Sunday after the game, are you interested in playing in the next game? And in the moment, Saquon's like, no, I'm good. Like, let's get ready for the playoffs. Da-da-da-da-da. Saquon says he went home, he took a nap, or went to bed, I guess. Whatever. Talked it over with his family and was like, you know what? This is something that is actually sentimental to me. So maybe I do want to play. He let the coaches, staff make this decision for him, and they was like, nah, you're not playing week 18. So sorry.
Yeah.
Now, there has been a lot of controversy on that, and shout out to all of y'all in here listening, and we're up to about 1,000 people on a random Friday, so thank y'all for tapping in with us. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think that they did wrong and they should let him play on Sunday, or it's a right decision and he should not play on Sunday? What do you think?
I think so. At first, I was team don't play him.
Yeah.
Rest him, obviously, because don't risk injury. Try to win a Super Bowl, yada, yada, whatever. I understand they have bigger goals in mind. I've switched to team play him because I agree. A Super Bowl is not a guarantee.
Why not beating the Chiefs?
I know. I don't even want to say that, but like the Chiefs are probably three-peating. Knock on wood.
I did.
I knock on wood too. The Chiefs are kind of inevitable this season. So for you not to get that record and like it's not even. I'd understand it more. Let's say if you could take that record into the playoffs and you know for sure you're going to the Super Bowl, like you know for certain you are going to the Super Bowl. I'd be like, okay, but you don't even know that. Like you still have to go through your whole playoff gauntlet.
Vikings.
So what happens if you get out round? What happens when you're out round 2 and then you didn't get your record either and you don't get a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
So for me, I would think he would play it very smartly and he wouldn't risk any injury. Like if he sees a big tackle coming his way, he's going to get out of the way for it. I think it's worth letting him trying to get the record. I think, like he said, it'd be so important to his family name. You go down in history with that. Like there are thousands of people that win a Super Bowl, but not 1,000 people that have this record in NFL history and have your family name there. And to hear how bad his family wants it for him, like it kind of breaks my heart. And it sounds like Saquon himself wanted to play, and Nick Sirianni ultimately was like, no, like you're gonna sit. Like I don't know. I just think it kind of sucks. I hope they make a last-minute decision and play him. I do.
For me, I don't know if I care. So when I look at it, I can go either way. If you rest him because you don't want him to get beat up, I mean, 100 yards is a lot of running on the legs. You don't know how many carries that is. That could be 2, that could be 30. That could be 20 carries. You don't know. That's a lot of hits. Who did the Eagles even play this week? Oh, they played the Giants.
The Giants.
Like, break that against your old team that did you wrong. Like, they could figure out a way to make that happen.
Poetic. Yeah.
But I think ultimately I would have liked to see them maybe be like, we're going to do you like the Chiefs did Chris Jones last year.
This is also true. The last 18 quarterbacks that lost their first Super Bowl appearance have never made it back. So Jalen Hurts lost his first Super Bowl. I can't talk. Lost his last Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah.
So the chances of him even making it back are very slim.
Very slim.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see the Eagles take the approach of like what Andy Reid did with Chris Jones last year. Like, we're going to let you go out there for a half.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
If you get the sack, great. If you don't, you're bad.
That's
right?
It. And then
how happy the whole
unless you're like
was for him when he got the sack, right?
Right. Oh my God, that was magic. Yeah.
I would have done that with Saquon. We're going to give you the first half. You can get 10 yards, you can get 100 yards. It's up to you. We're going to feed you like a freaking horse. You better go get it. And I mean, I do think he could have went up against the Giants and easily got probably 100 yards in the first half. But then it's also like, do you want to risk the injury or not even a playoff injury? Do you want to risk something that could be a year to recover or 6 or 8 months to recover? So I definitely see the give and take of it. But I think not giving him an option at all is a problem. I think they should have let him decide yes or
it
no.
should be his decision.
And he could have took the whole week to think about it. And then on Friday, been like, you know what? Yeah, no, I don't want to. Especially because we got to be realistic. Saquon has had a ton of injuries too. Like he is injury prone. So, and MetLife is turf. Like I don't know where they're playing this week.
Actually, yeah, let me see.
If they're playing at MetLife, do you really want to risk him playing on turf where he has?
Yeah, if it were at MetLife, I'd say no.
So, yeah, I don't know where they play it this week. So when I look at it that way, like I definitely I get both sides of it, but I do think at the end of the day, it should have been his decision and not his own.
No,
but
they play at home.
Well, yeah. So I mean, but then again, it's like, what if he tweaks something or gets a high ankle sprain or something real dumb?
I know.
You shouldn't have played Saquon. Like, devil's advocate.
So hard.
Way about it, but
so hard.
Regardless, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. So, I mean, and this just would have been another notch in the book to get him there, which he's had an incredible season. And if he did that just this year, that kind of lets you know, like, just imagine what next season's going to be like for him too. So,
hopefully he breaks it next season. Let's just,
very, very high way to do that.
He's not on our team, but he's a great player. So I would love to see him.
I have nothing but respect for Saquon. Let's go ahead and get into this next sponsor and talk 2 minutes about Week 18 Chiefs.
Yeah, there's not much to say, but we will dive into our autograph sponsor. So we have big news to share with you guys. We are excited to be partnering with Autograph, a fandom company co-founded by NFL legend Tom Brady. Their new app, Autograph, gives diehard fans like you a one-stop shop for all the best fan content for your favorite team, obviously the Chiefs, and rewards you for doing what you're already doing as a fan. So, for example, you can listen to The Kingdom's Queens anywhere, but when you listen on the Autograph app, you earn free coins that can then be redeemed for amazing rewards, including free, discounted, and no-fee tickets, A+ memorabilia and merch, and one-of-a-kind experiences. So download the Autograph app in the App Store or Google Play Store today for free and use referral code KingdomsQueens. That's referral code KingdomsQueens, the Autograph app where your fandom lives. And we love the Autograph app. It's a lime green button. Just download it, use our code, and get all kinds of little perks and just read everything you know about your favorite teams.
Even if it's just to listen to all your favorite podcasts. Like, we're literally all on there. You can listen to all your favorite podcasts in one spot. I'm also going to take this moment to say thank you all for listening to us again on this random Friday. We're up to over 1,000 listeners, and shout out to y'all. It looks like we got like 50 views on YouTube because I definitely just pulled our YouTube channel up while we're sitting here. So shout out to y'all. Thank y'all. We only got 13 likes though, and if it's now I'm about to get in here and like yell at y'all.
Go give us a like.
There's
y'all.
50 people. Well,
we're working hard here to give you guys some good content. So
it won't show me. I don't know why.
Okay.
But we only have 13 likes, and we can definitely get that number up. So let's just go ahead and pause for station identification and go like the button, please.
13's a good number.
13's a good. I mean, but last week we got up to 45 likes.
No, I mean, yeah. I'm just saying, like in Chiefs
like
term, 13
So now I'm going to peer pressure every single one of you that are listening right now on YouTube. Go make sure you hit that like button. In addition, that's why. Duh, Jodi. Sorry. I'm like, duh, Jodi. And we're up to 1775 subscribers.
This person gets it.
Stop being stingy with the like.
All you got to do is give a little thumbs up.
Can we get 25 subscribers and get up to 1,800 before the playoffs? I think we could do that
Thank
too.
you,
Thank you, Jessica. So if we could get another 25 subscribers, if you're on Twitter, please make sure you are retweeting Lexi's face and Jodi's face and the Kingdom Queens page. So we could just try to get as many listeners as possible, because Kansas City, you are literally only getting ready for a blizzard right now and y'all have nothing to do. So
unless you're out grocery shopping, which by all means.
Yeah, make sure all of your blankets are warm, your
things are charged, your phone's
flashlights have batteries, which funny, like, do you
backup generators?
Your phone is a flashlight?
No, but
yeah. However, I did take
a flashlight if I need.
I did go buy candles, which I probably did not need, but I felt like I did. So I did buy more candles.
It's a vibe, yeah. Plus, like, candles are on sale right now, so.
I know. And I told you, I don't know if you know, I'm obsessed with Target's candles right now, and I'm kind of like, I haven't been to Bath and Body Works and bought candles there forever. Y'all go to Target. They got some of the best freaking candles in Target. Anyway, feel free to sponsor Kingdom Queens Target. Broncos week 18 in Denver. Believe it or not, the snow is going to be in Kansas City and not in Denver, which is like what in the world.
Listen, I wish this game was in Kansas City so we could have a snow game.
No, I love it. I would have to go.
I want to.
No, I would definitely sell my ticket. So me and Lexi already read off to y'all all the people who are already inactive and all of the doubtfuls. It was like 25 people. So let's
them again. Maybe read them again real quick. Or do you want me to?
Yes. Do you have it up right now?
I'm about to. Let it load.
The Chiefs inactives, I have it right here. So Chris Jones, Patrick Mahomes, Trent McDuffie, Nick Bolton, Kareem Hunt, George Karlaftis, Travis Kelce, Justin Reed, and Drew Tranquil are all doubtful for Sunday's 3:25 game against the Broncos. And Isaiah Pacheco, Jawan Taylor, Mecole Hardman, and Jalen Watson are officially out. Jalen Watson and Mecole Hardman were back at practice today. The 21-day window is now open for Jalen Watson, which is fantastic, which means it's a very, very high possibility that we could see him for this divisional game, which we don't know who that game is against yet, but we know it's the weekend of the 18th and the 19th, but very high possibility that we can see him. So those are just kind of some of the updates for Chiefs right now. We did say that at the beginning of the episode, but shout out to y'all for still being here with us. So,
just in case.
We play at 3:25 on Sunday in Denver. It's been announced that Carson Wentz is the starter, and y'all, I'm thrilled because I love Carson Wentz.
Me too.
I love him.
So I think really the biggest thing throughout this Chiefs season has been Andy Reid and even some of the Chiefs players and some of the other coaches saying in their weekly press conferences that Carson Wentz could absolutely be a starting quarterback in the league, especially because there are so many quarterback teams. So I am really excited for him to have this opportunity to start against Denver. They are a very playoff hungry team. They are not going to go down without a fight. I mean, this is a really good offense, a really good defense, and a really good defense, actually. I'm a little bit worried about our O-line against their really strong defensive line front. Because I think our O-line is basically going to be backups. However, I think DJ Humphries is going to start at left tackle, at least for a bit. Andy Reid did kind of say that today. And so that's, if anyone's missed it, he's our guy we acquired kind of through injury. He was with Arizona Cardinals for a really long time as an all-pro left tackle. Now the Chiefs have him. He started one game for us and sadly went out with a hamstring. Has been working to get healthy and get back. So they're planning on starting him this weekend, which I think is great at left tackle. And then I think the rest of our O-line is just going to kind of be a shuffle throughout the game. But from what I've heard just throughout the week, throughout the season, like these guys love Carson Wentz. They are behind him 100%. And I'm just really excited to see what he can do. Nico Remigio spoke today in the media. He's one of our kind of backup wide receivers. He's been elevated in McColl's place.
And he's been doing a fantastic job.
Doing a really good job.
He's been great.
So he was saying today in his media that he has been working a ton with Carson Wentz. in, just the OTAs, off-season training camp, because he's in those second string reps and he's with Carson Wentz. So they've had time to build up that chemistry. And Carson Wentz he's a good quarterback. He's not your average backup quarterback. So I'm really excited to see these guys step up for him. I know Carson Steele, our fullback, running back, he wants to step up for Carson Wentz.
This is really good tape for everybody too.
Yeah.
Like, for one, depending on what this game looks like for Carson Wentz, you already said it when you hear it all around the media. He could be starting on somebody's team right now. He could definitely be. He could be starting for the New Orleans Saints today. He could be starting. Like, there's so many teams that you can name that Carson Wentz is the better quarterback and could be starting, but he is the backup for Kansas City. And you're absolutely right. We went to training camp. We went to all of these things and seeing how Carson Wentz looked with the second and the twos and the threes.
He's starting for the Tennessee Titans right now.
Literally, that. So I did go ahead and pull up the Broncos injury report. Looks like the only person that they have designated to be out for this week is one of their tackles, Frank Crum. And it looks like Tyler Batty, who is actually a really good freaking running back for them, he's questionable this week to a back injury that he suffered last week against the Bengals. Now, the only thing that I think I will say is not only are we going to see all of their starters, I definitely think they're going to come out here hungry and they're going to want to get this win, especially after going into overtime with the Bengals and losing to the Bengals last week. That game was actually one of the best 325 games last week, and it went really good. And you really seen what both of these quarterbacks and both of these teams had in their grit, and it came down to coaching and all of that. So I'm pretty sure that they're definitely going to come out here and they're going to play we want this win, because they can still get in the playoffs. They're not officially eliminated yet.
No,
right? They're not. They can still make it.
They pretty much need to win.
They have the Chargers have to lose, right? They gotta win.
No, the Chargers are set. The Chargers are pretty much set. They're pretty much good.
So who needs to lose?
Because the thing is, I was looking today. Well, I was looking today. The Chargers beat the Broncos twice this season, so they have that tiebreaker over them. The Dolphins, I think, would need to win, and the Broncos would need to lose for them to be out. If the Broncos win, I think they're pretty much in, and everyone else is out.
Because they have the better record over the Bengals and the Dolphins right now.
This is literally a must-win for the Broncos. If the Broncos lose,
go Broncos.
And if the Broncos lose, the Dolphins lose, and the Bengals lose, then the Broncos are in.
Because they all lost. But if the Broncos lose and the Dolphins lose, then the Bengals are in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of different things need to happen. But I think it'd be really fun for the Chiefs.
But the Bengals play the Steelers.
The Bengals play the Steelers.
And the Steelers have lost their last three. They lost all 3 games during that 11-day stretch. And now they're rested. And I know Mike Tomlin is not happy.
The Steelers are at 10-6. The Ravens are at 11-5. If the Ravens happen to lose and the Steelers win, then the Steelers and Ravens are tied, and I think the Steelers have the tiebreaker over them. I don't know. One of them's getting the 3rd seed. One of them's getting the 6th seed.
3-6. Yeah.
So
that's a lot.
3 and 5.
Very happy that we have the 1 seed. So, people that we're more than likely going to see playing this week, we're definitely going to see. Do we see D-Hop?
My mom is calling me right now. I'm on my podcast. Thanks.
Girl, I call you back. She's like, it is not Tuesday. Send her a text message girl, hold on. Do we see D-Hop this week? Now, yes, I know that he only needs one now, guys, especially betting community. Shout out to Underdog. We'll get into that shortly.
Yes, we will get into that soon.
DeAndre Hopkins only needs one touchdown to hit one of his incentives this week. And if you guys haven't realized, like, there's a very long list of just NFL players this week that have certain incentives that they need to hit. Like Kyler Murray is on there. Like, there's a whole bunch of guys that are on there. He only needs one touchdown to hit $500,000. Now, does that mean D-Hop only plays like the first quarter? Now, and I guess the other thing about it is this ain't training camp. We don't got 90 guys sitting around that we could just play in and out. Some of these guys are going to have to suit up. Some of these guys are going to have to be activated. That does not mean that Andy is going to play them necessarily. So DeAndre Hopkins could very much be active this week. Hollywood Brown could very much be active this week. Miko's out. Did that list say Xavier Worthy?
I didn't say Xavier or Hollywood.
They're going to both probably be active this week. Now, we know what happened last season. Wow, there were a lot of guys that were activated. Like McDuffie and Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquill, but none of them actually played week 18. Right. It's probably going to be a very close scenario to that this week too. But correct. I mean, Carson got to throw the ball to somebody, y'all.
Literally.
He can't throw it to himself.
His favorite target is out. Well, yeah. His favorite targets are going to be Nico, Justin Watson, and D-Hop, probably. D-Hop, I was listening to C-Dot while I was driving earlier, and he was saying the other thing I think I missed on there, I think it's like 100. It's a lot of yards. It's like 140 yards he needs for like another 250,000. And then I think it's like 9 receptions. So I was thinking like the easiest one is the touchdown. So we could get him the touchdown in the first half and then sit him.
9 receptions is so many. I don't think he's had 9 receptions.
That's what I'm saying. Like
like in 3 games.
Unless we're just thinking and dunking real quick. Like I don't.
Hey, do what you got to do. Okay.
Yeah, we could.
Do what you got to do. But I wouldn't be surprised by that. So yes, Carson Wentz is starting, and his backup is going to be Chris. I can never say his name right.
Oladokin.
Oladokin.
Oladokin. Oh, I always want to say Oladokun, but that's not right.
I don't know what I was about to say.
I think it's Oladokin.
I think it's Oladokin too. Now, here's the next question, right? Does Carson just play the first half and Chris plays the second half? Does Carson play 3 quarters? Chris plays 4. What does this look like? I mean, because Andy Reid is gonna put up a fight.
Of course.
Now it might be like on 3rd and 8, don't get the first down and we'll punt. Like, come on now. We know this is Harry's range. Harrison Butker can kick from 43. You want to punt? Okay, Andy. You know, it might be some stuff like that we might see in this game. So, that'll be very, very interesting to see come week 18. But no, I definitely think that they are going to play this game full out. But I'm very excited for these 2s and these 3s to be able to get out there and to be active. Get some tape on them, because if the Chiefs win a 3rd Super Bowl, the roster that you see today will not be the roster that it is next year.
No. So, yes, it is like the Chris Jones incentive. So
absolutely 100%. So what would you say are the keys to the game for the Chiefs winning this week?
So the good news is, Chiefs Kingdom, is that this game is meaningless. Now, meaningless. It's meaningful to a lot of these guys. Baby. I mean, it's meaningful to Carson Wentz. It's meaningful to Carson Steele and Nico Remigio and a lot of the guys in the defense. So I don't want to say it's meaningless. But it is.
Ryan's playing. He was
Yeah. And he was on the Broncos last year, so he's going to show out. So I think the keys to this game, you don't need a win, but I think these guys really want to win. And Mitch Holthus was saying on the radio earlier too, he's like, Andy Reid really wants to win this game. Like, and I think that
Reid is a liar.
But that goes into pride. I mean, that goes into pride and not wanting your division rival to win. And if we get this game, we sweep the division once again. And this was a really good division this year.
It was a very good division this year. And I think that, like,
I think even Andy probably has a bit of a chip on his shoulder. Like, they're 10.5-point dogs. Like, I think he's probably
that was wild. I was like, they're an 11-point favorite.
I think Andy's probably like, don't disappoint us like that.
But it's not like it's Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones and Travis Kelce out there.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not the motor of the team. It's not the engine.
Of course, yeah.
Patrick Mahomes might be Andy Reid this week. He might be the play caller.
I would love it. I would love that.
Can you imagine Chris Jones and Patrick Mahomes being the play callers for the offense and the defense? Oh my Lord. It'd be
so much fun.
I think for me, my keys to winning.
I don't even think I gave any. I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. You're like, but they're prideful and they don't want to lose. And they want to, which, yeah. That's fine. Like, yes, you're not wrong. But 15-2 is a great record.
It is.
15-2 is something to be prideful for.
16-1 is more pretty. It's prettier, but
no, it is. But
it'll be okay.
What? Name one key to winning. I only got one.
What's yours?
Don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, it's a great one.
If you turn the ball over, they're gonna score.
What I do want to see. What I want to see is a quarterback sneak with Carson Wentz. I want to see the quarterback sneak. We don't get those anymore, and he is so good.
Didn't he come in for a game and do a quarterback sneak like week 1 or week 2?
Maybe, yeah.
Was that preseason?
It might have been preseason.
He absolutely came into the game and did a quarterback sneak. I just can't remember.
It might have been preseason, but yeah, he definitely did. I would love to see him do that again.
I laughed because he got it. I was so
proud. Just honestly, we just need efficiency on both sides of the ball. That's really it. Like, just take your opportunity. Like, these backups, you don't always get these opportunities. Make the most of it. Like, play a team that's really fighting for a playoff spot that we despise. We don't like the Broncos. Like,
absolutely.
Take them out of the playoffs. Like, I mean, this is your chance to go out there and show what you can do, show why you're on the Super Bowl reigning champs team. And I mean, I'd love to see a turnover just from like someone random, like a Christian Roland Wallace or someone like that you might be sleeping on and could really
Najee Johnson get a pick. Joshua Williams
get a pick six. Yeah, I would love to see it.
Jaden Hicks going crazy at safety, which I think he absolutely will.
Well, these guys that we have for backup aren't bad.
No, and they play a lot of first-team snaps.
Play smart and don't risk any injury if you don't have to, like, because you don't need to win this game. So don't risk your injury, but play as hard as you can.
The moment you take a hard hit or you limp, Andy Reid is pulling you for the rest of the game. So please be smart.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have the moment you do something. He's like, nope, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else for week 18 before we get into
dive into the rest? Because that's all we got for that game. Just hopefully we go win, but it doesn't matter. So
we'll win. I don't mean that.
I know.
If I don't mean it.
I know.
Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Now, I know that most of you guys have downloaded the app ever since we become a brand partner with them. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? If you have not downloaded the Underdog Fantasy app yet, please download it. And at the very bottom, there's a little blue tab. It's a plus sign with a circle, and it says promo code. That is where you're going to go in, and you're going to enter the code Kingdoms Queens. Now, the reason why we love Underdog is, one, you can do live picks, which has been
crazy.
Lifesaver. I would just say live picks have been a lifesaver, but the one great thing about it is you take the overs and the unders. So I just actually pulled up the app, and right now they already have a free square for Sunday. Carson Wentz, 0.5 total yards. That's your free square right there. Like, we know that Carson Wentz is going to throw the ball for at least 1 yard next week, right? Next week. All my days are running together for this week, right? So download the Underdog Fantasy app. Use promo code Kingdom Queens. Make sure you go ahead and click on Carson Wentz because it's a free square already. Take the over on that. You can add anywhere from 2 all the way up to 8 different picks that you want to. Now, I will say you do have to use at least 2 teams, so you could get on there and you could take Bo Nix for his yards or his rushing yards because he's definitely going to run the ball. But it's so fun to get on here. Me and Lexi last weekend, I was like, okay, I think this is my flip that I'm going to use for this week for these teams, or this is my Monday night football game, or this is my Sunday night football game. So me and Lexi are always posting our favorite plays as well on Twitter. So if you're not following us or Kingdom Queens, you need to make sure that you are so you can get on there and see like what our plays are and our things for this week. But yes, get on there, make an entry. We will match up to $1,000 right now. So if you deposit $100, we'll do a 50% deposit match and give you $50 on that.
And if you miss if you hit like everything in your parlay, but you miss like one thing, they kind of refund your money back. So it's really not a bad way to go about it. That's what happened to me. Injuries. That's what happened to me last week. And I was like, oh, but then I was like, hey, they refunded it. Okay. So it's not so bad.
There's certain things you can do too. Like now, if you already have the Underdog app, can you just write in the comments, I already got it? So then you can relate to what we're talking about right now. But if you already have it, you know that there's like 2 options that you can do. So you can do the one that's like, I want all 6 of these picks. Or you could be like, I want 6 of these picks, 5 of these picks, 4 of these picks to actually hit. And then you'll get paid out for that on a certain percentage.
Yeah.
So, very cool. Very fun.
Well, I want to say too, just to add on to it, this weekend, specifically for the NFL, there's a lot of players like we spoke to earlier that have a lot of incentives.
Yeah.
You have like, I'm gonna take our old guy MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, for his anytime touchdown in the Saints game because the Bucs secondary hasn't been great, and he gets like a $250,000 bonus if he gets a touchdown on Sunday.
And he has been really good for the Saints. Who's worse? But Derek Carr's not starting for them this week. I just seen like
it's probably Spencer Rattler. Is it available in the UK? I don't know. I need to figure that out. Let me look at that.
Actually, I don't think it is. I think it's only in the 50 states right now.
In the US right now.
Yeah, it's only in the US
right now. I think they're working on expanding it a lot, but they're kind of newer. So,
they are.
They're definitely working on it.
They're cooking up some stuff for this year, so just keep that in mind. So when we tell y'all to download the app and use our promo code, we mean it for good reason, y'all.
But yeah, keep it in mind for when they keep expanding too. We'll let you guys know. So
absolutely,
we get to new markets.
So let's kind of get into the rest of the games that are for week 18. This is our Underdog Fantasy segment. So we are going to just talk kind of all of the rest of the games for week 18 with y'all right now. In addition to some playoff implications, which Lexi already kind of started talking about a little bit, with Chiefs winning, Broncos losing, Bengals winning, team losing. Like there's so many things there.
Yeah.
Yes, we got you, Jessica. Don't worry about it. So let's kind of we're in the time of year now where we don't have Thursday night football, boo, but we have Saturday night football, which is game.
We do.
Right? So Saturday football, which is a blessing. So Saturday at 3:30, you have Browns versus Ravens.
Mm-hmm. I said Raves.
I was like, you heard me go Ravens? Question mark. At 3:30.
I typed it wrong.
So the Browns are already eliminated. The Ravens are already in.
But the Ravens and the Steelers need their wins this week. So
correct, because they're still trying to figure out who's winning their division still.
Yeah.
They're still trying to figure out who's winning their division. So I definitely have the Ravens winning this week, but I would not be surprised if the Browns did not give them the fits. But I think their starting quarterback is Dorian Thompson-Robinson. So yeah, the Ravens.
I don't know why they don't put Jameis Winston back in, but I think I'm guessing they don't want to win.
Be delivered from the picks. Lexi.
Yeah,
he's asking wanted Jesus to deliver him from the pigs. You know why?
Sixes.
I'm like, you know exactly why.
God.
Hey. Like, I love him.
Poor Jameis. And honestly, I'm gonna be really mean. I'm gonna be not kind here and say DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, does not give them the best chance to win. And I think the Browns want their draft spot. So I think right now they're starting him, and that's about it. So I assume the Ravens are going to win. They're at home. They're in playoff mode. They're going to win.
Yeah. And yeah, Lamar's been looking good these last few weeks. Derrick Henry is a freaking monster. And I actually laughed because when I was listening to Hard Knocks, they were talking about Lamar Jackson running last week and pulling up his pants. And they were like, yeah, it's because all of his clothes were before he lost weight. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I forgot he lost a ton of weight going into this season.
He did.
Saturday night, I will be locked in.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be a good one.
Because it's going to be an ice storm between 12 and 5 p.m. in Kansas City. So whatever. Bengals versus Steelers, which, again, Bengals are playing to even be in the playoffs, and Steelers are trying to lock in the number one spot in the AFC North. Right. So this game is in Pittsburgh, and again, the Steelers have lost the last 3 games. They lost the 3 games in 11 days. They've had some really good rest right now. Like, they should be well rested now.
The problem is, I actually think they should have put Steelers Bengals. They should have put at noon, is what I think, because the 3 p.m. game. And I understand you want it for Saturday Night Football. I think it'll be great. It's going to get your ratings. But if the Ravens win at 3:30 p.m., your 7 p.m. game becomes a lot less interesting because the Steelers won't have a chance. They're going to be the 5 seed no matter what.
But
actually, though,
the Bengals win, then they're going to be watching football all day on Sunday to see if they're actually in or not.
So, okay. So this also comes down to. Hold on. Okay, so the Steelers are at 10-6. The Chargers are at 10-6. So this is where playoff implications get fun. So if the Ravens win at 3:30, Steelers play at 7. If the Steelers, if they want the 5 seed, which is better, because then you go on and play the Texans, right? Which is more of a favorable matchup for
the Texans. Yeah, the Texans are so depleted right now.
But the same thing for the Chargers. Now the Chargers play the Raiders on Sunday. They're also 10-6. So if the Chargers, they'll probably beat the Raiders again. They'll go to 11-6 and get the 5 seed.
The Raiders should not lose it. Now I will say this: the Raiders should not lose any more games, but they won.
They did win in a really meaningless
game. And they should not have. And it messed up their draft pick. Yeah. And they have been eliminated for weeks.
But, yeah. So, actually, the Steelers. Okay. So, Steelers, Bengals.
They're firing their head coach.
Who?
The Raiders. They're firing their head
coach. Yeah. It's not going to work out.
But Max Crosby's not playing.
No. So, the Chargers should win that game. But the Steelers are kind of still going to have to play because they want the 5 seed.
Yeah, I would rather play the Texans.
So Steelers, Bengals should still be a good. Okay. I just had to sort this out in my head. Steelers, Bengals should still be a really good game because they still don't have a lot to play for. Bengals need to win to get in, and then
the Bengals have to win if they want to get in. And they have to win and then pray about Sunday.
And Steelers have to win for seeding because they don't want to go. Oh my God! If the Steelers don't win, they have to go play the Ravens or the Bill. Yeah, the Ravens in the wild card.
The Ravens, because the Bills are the 2. So yeah, wish you.
So they don't want. God, what a mess!
So glad.
I love being the 1 seed. I love being the 1 seed.
Hallelujah! This is what we've been telling y'all for months.
Oh my God.
So we get into Sunday football. The Panthers play the Falcons at noon. Now, the Panthers are already eliminated, even though Bryce Young has had a really good – that whole entire Panthers team. After I
Wait,
guess
did we
you
say
could say
who we
like
think
2 weeks.
wins? Did we say who we think wins the right?
Oh, Bengals,
The
Steelers.
yeah,
I wouldn't
at
be surprised if the
Steelers.
Bengals win. The Bengals could win. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think they will win too.
The Steelers should
I
win
know.
because they're more rested.
It's going to be a good game. I'm really excited for it.
But I think they want to keep it spicy.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know.
Yeah,
Bengals will win like at the last minute. Okay.
Yeah. Field goal. Steelers miss the field goal and lose the game to a 20 or something stupid. Just like the Bengals won last week.
Yeah.
Friday, you have Panthers. Friday. What? Sunday, you have Panthers at Falcons at noon. The Falcons need to win. Huh?
That's that guy. Yeah, same thing.
Yes. So the Falcons need to win so they can lock up their division, even though the Bucks. Are you looking at the rankings right now?
I am, yeah.
What's the Bucks record and the Falcons record? They're both.
So the Bucks, right, going into week 18 are 9-7. Mm-hmm. The Falcons going into week 18 are 8-8. However, the Falcons won both games over the Bucks this year.
And who did the Bucks play Sunday? Oh, they play the Saints, which they should win.
So the thing is, okay, so both teams play at noon. If the Bucks lose, they are in, no problem. If the Falcons, Falcons need to win no matter what, and they won't know because they're both on at noon. Absolutely. And so, but the Falcons need to win no matter what.
They're gonna do
which they will. They're playing the Panthers.
Remember that game at Arrowhead? Remember that game at Arrowhead a few years back when the Chiefs were playing and it was the Dolphins and the Patriots and they beat the Patriots and they showed it. I was at that game and they showed it. It's going to be one of those situations in both of those stadiums where they keep showing highlights of the other game to see how they're doing. It's definitely going to be one of those games.
I think I watched that game at like Dave and Buster's and like everyone went crazy when I think the Dolphins. Anyway,
at Arrowhead, like whoa.
Oh, I'm sure that was
remember being like, there's no way they lost. They lost. I definitely think the Falcons win this week, but I would not be surprised if the Panthers did not give them a run for their money. But I think the Panthers might have a few guys sitting out this week.
They do.
They have a few guys, actually a lot of guys sitting out this week.
Falcons are playing for a lot. Panthers are not. They could spoil, but I don't know. I don't know.
No. They're into the draft.
However, but the Bucks have to beat the Saints too. And if the Bucks beat the Saints, they're in no matter what. If the Bucks lose and the Falcons win, the Falcons are in for the NFC South.
And they're playing in Tampa Bay, so
both teams are at home. Falcons are at home, Bucks are at home.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Those are going to be my noon games I'm focusing on.
Gotta love divisional weekend, week 18.
Yeah.
The next game we talked about a little bit. Did you say who you think wins? I think Falcons and Bucks wins.
I think so too, and I think the Bucks get in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think that's what's meant to be.
Yeah, don't nobody want to see the Falcons.
Baker has those guys rolling.
Yeah, don't nobody want to see. Yeah, Mike Evans anytime touchdown every single week. Every single week.
He has big incentives this week, so bet on Mike Evans this week for sure.
Every single week. Dolphins at Jets 325. We kind of talked about it a little bit. Tua will be out. The other guys are playing. It's gonna be cold in New Jersey, New York.
Is Aaron Rodgers even gonna play? I guess because it might be.
I don't know. Is something wrong with him, or he's just complaining like he always does?
No, but remember he went out last quarter of the last game against the Bills. No. However.
He did.
Yeah, he took himself.
That was just more so like embarrassment.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna sit out. He did say this week. Aaron Rodgers did say this week it could be his last NFL game ever. So in that case, he might try to go out with a bang.
But he also said that he wants to play on another team next season. But he said that earlier. He said he wants to play on another team. He said that he's not done playing football. He's just done playing for the Jets.
Yeah, that's not going to work. But where else is it going to work? It's not going to work anywhere else. So The only place I could see it working is maybe the Titans, maybe. Just because he loves Tennessee, I guess.
However, there were a lot of things that happened with the Jets this week. They interviewed what's his name? Mike Vrabel for head coach this week, and they interviewed Louis Reddick. Is that his last name?
Reddick, yeah.
For their GM position, which I actually really like a lot. And they interviewed somebody else, but I don't really know or care. Who do you think wins Dolphins?
Yeah, I don't know. The Jets are a mess right now. They're interviewing a lot of really old head coaches, like
and they also interviewed Ron Rivera and the dude who got kicked out the NFL and he's back. Raiders.
Oh, Gruden.
John freaking Gruden, which how are you even allowed back into the NFL?
I think they should hire Vrabel. If I were a Jets person, I would hire
1,000%.
No question.
I want him on the Chiefs staff somehow.
Oh man, are the Dolphins or Jets gonna win that? I know. I would love him on the Chiefs staff. Man, Dolphins need to win. They have Tyler Huntley.
And Tyler Huntley could win.
I think they're going to win. I think they're going to make it interesting. I think they're going to win.
I think they win too because I think the Jets just
they
have so much drama right now.
Yeah, too much drama.
They're checked out.
Yeah.
I think the best game of the day is Sunday Night Football, which is Vikings Lions, which everybody's going to be watching. They are playing for the 1 seed. And it is spicy. Both of them are 14-2 right now. That division has just been insane the whole year. I'm like, God, everybody's winning. Like,
can you imagine being 14-2 and in this implication right now?
And then the Chargers being 14-2, like, lose a game.
Right. I'd be so mad.
Your losses are to each other. Like, what?
Yeah.
I would be so annoyed.
I'd be so annoyed.
This is going to be a great game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think...
So it's at Lions. It's in Detroit.
It's in Detroit. Like, I have to break this all the way down, right? I think Minnesota has the better receivers. I think Minnesota has the better head coach. I think the Lions have the better defense.
You think KOC is better than Dan Campbell? Ooh.
I do. I like Dan Campbell a lot, but I think KOC is a better.
I think what he's done is incredible.
Yeah. With Sam Darnold, like what? Yeah. That speaks a lot.
Yeah.
I think Minnesota has a better offensive line.
They both have really good O-lines, honestly. I think Minnesota's D-line is better right now because of injuries to the Lions' D-line.
I would say the Lions have the better running backs, but they don't have David Montgomery. But I do think that Jahmyr Gibbs is better than Aaron
Jones.
God bless. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, no, I agree. I
would give the Lions the better running backs. I would give Minnesota the better receivers. Tight ends, I would probably give it to the Lions. Right? Yeah. Lions better tight ends.
I don't know. The Vikings have Hawkinson.
Well, I mean, like, Sam Porter is a baller.
But yeah, I know. I'd actually say wide receivers I give to the Vikings. I slightly give it to the Lions on tight end. But
I feel like I need to go compare Hawkinson and Sam Laporta's stats. I'm doing that as soon as I get off here.
Was injured for a while. Hawkinson was injured to start the season.
Yeah.
From last. So you can only compare.
Better kicker? Who is the better kicker?
Well,
the Lions.
Jake Bates is for the Lions, and he had that funny viral moment from last game. Did you see that?
Maybe.
From their game against the Niners, Jake Bates like hurt something after, and so he was on the field and he was like stretching out his groin and he was like laying like in like the paint me pose. He was like,
okay, I do remember that. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. But actually, I think both their kickers. Wow, man, I don't know.
Did you hear the stat about how the Lions have barely played any teams outside of a dome? So who knows what they're really like? And I'm like, that's very true.
So that's why they need the home. That's why they need the home.
They need home field advantage. They need it. I think the Vikings can go. Well, I don't know.
So the Vikings kicker is Will Reichard.
Didn't one of them lose to the Packers?
No, I think they both swept the Packers.
Who are their two losses? Each other and.
Well, the Lions lost to the Bills and the Bucks. They lost to the Bucks really early on in the season, and they lost to the Bills when they like were injury decimated. The Lions or the Vikings, I'm not sure who they lost to.
I'm looking right now.
But so the Vikings kicker, Will Reichard, is 21 for 26 field goals. His longest is 50.
To the Rams and to the Lions.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Back-to-back weeks, too. They lost first to the Lions.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
And then they lost to the Rams. And then they went on a run.
Yeah, they did.
I'm like, Jesus. Okay, who do I want the win more for? The Vikings. I want the Vikings to win this week. I want the Vikings to lock in the 1 seed, and that's because I love Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
And I just like their team. I
wanted Jordan Addison to be a Chief so bad.
Same. I did too.
I was really
we were watching that draft live, and we were like, no.
When he went off the board, and then Zay Flowers, I was like, oh. I was like anybody, and then we got FAU.
Yeah. But I was like, y'all have Justin Jefferson. How dare you take Jordan Addison?
I was like, that is greedy. Y'all are greedy.
It's paid off.
Y'all thought y'all didn't want to pay Justin Jefferson just to pay him anyway.
Right.
Anyway, the Lions should win this game at home.
You know what sucks is whoever wins, they're both 14-2. Whoever wins gets the 1 seed. Whoever loses gets the 5 seed.
Which is crazy.
That sucks.
Who's the 4? Oh, it would be either the Bucks or the Falcons.
You know, all day I was leaning Lions. I kind of want to take the Vikings.
Yeah, I want the Vikings to win. Really bad.
It's not even that I just want them to win. I think they can. Like, I think they might go in there and upset them.
I think that it's going to come down to coaching, and I think KOC is better than Dan Campbell. And I think Dan Campbell is a great coach, but I think he is more of an aggressive coach than a strategic coach.
Yeah.
KOC is very analytical, number strategic, and I think Dan Campbell runs a lot off of emotion and let's do it, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. That is why I think the Vikings win.
Yeah.
And they know how to play in hostile. They both know how to play in hostile environments. I think a lot of Vikings fans are traveling for this game, especially because it is in a dome.
I think they go make a statement. I don't know. Oh, that's so hard. I kind of think the Vikings, though. This is the hardest game probably of the season.
What's the better defense right now?
I say Vikings only because they're healthier.
But the Lions are getting a lot of people back this week. I don't know.
This week is the playoffs, though.
Yeah, their playoffs start now. Actually, both of these teams' playoffs started last week.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sucks for them.
Yeah.
Not us. We're rested.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can't relate, but
I'm going to go ahead and go Vikings because otherwise I will sit here and dwell on this a lot longer. So I'm just going to say Vikings.
All right. You go Vikings. I'll go Lions just for the fun of it, and then we'll see who's right.
Lions could win.
They could definitely win. So, oh, that's gonna be a fun one.
What's your score prediction for Chiefs Broncos?
Man, I don't know. I'm gonna go like, you know what? I'm gonna say Chiefs win. I think it's gonna be really, really close. But I'm gonna pull for us for the upset. I'm just gonna do it. But I think it's like 21-20.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a 27-24.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what would be funny? You know what would be funny is if the Chiefs decided to put up more than 30 points this week. Because we haven't put up more. We put up 30 points, but we haven't put up more than 30 all season.
I think Carson Wentz runs it in for a touchdown too.
Yeah. So maybe, what if I change it? 31-29.
I think this is like that quarterback sneak is a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Carson Wentz 6.
Like I'm saying, call the quarterback
and then be like, I think the Chiefs lose this week.
That's fine. They probably will.
I hope they do. I mean, the Broncos won against our 2s and 3s. That's the only reason why. They're going to play their role.
Yeah, I get it.
And I do think our 2s and 3s are really freaking good because they are. But
yeah,
if this game was in Arrowhead, maybe a different story. But they're in Denver too.
Yeah, I think Denver will probably win. I'm just going to go for the Chiefs for fun.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some of these brand sponsors. Now, again, shout out to all of y'all listening, up to almost 1,400 people coming from all platforms. We genuinely appreciate you. If you are listening on YouTube right now, did you go like the episode? Did you? No, I'm kidding. Make sure you like the episode on our YouTube channel. Shout out to Homage. I forgot to email them. I'm gonna take the blame.
I am wearing a Homage shirt right now. It's my Derek Thomas shirt because he.
Nope, I'm about to lie.
His birthday was the 1st, New Year's Day. So
yes, shout out to Homage. Lots of great apparel on their website. Again, all the cold weather gear, and y'all know it's freezing cold here. So get your stuff ready for the playoffs. It's going to be a cold game in Kansas City in 2 weeks. If you order now, you might get it in time by the time it gets here. Great quality, great product. They probably have a discount online. And me and Lexi are actually supposed to be doing a playoff giveaway. So I need to message them.
Yeah, we got to get with them on that. Yeah, but we'll let you guys know.
For that. So shout out to Homage. If you have not already, follow them on all of your social media platforms. Go on their website. Go look at all the great stuff. All the starters have been refreshed and replenished on there too. So just lots of great things from that perspective. And then finally, shout out to, I've ran out of tabs, but Boulevard Brewery. I've ran out of tabs. So shout out to Boulevard Brewery. I love it because they did
Pink Lips and Boulevard in one thing. Pink Lips right there.
Poetry.
And Boulevard.
They actually posted something today about people who are doing a dry January, and they posted a lot of content about some of their what is it called?
Non-alcoholic
drinks. Yeah. So if you're doing a dry January, I fully support that, and I love that so much for you. But they also are product for you too. So make sure you go check out Boulevard Brewery and see all of the non-alcoholic and alcoholic beverages that they have that are available. And go check them out because lots of great things there too. So
everyone in Kansas City loves Boulevard. How could we not? So.
Literally, especially during the Royals games, which I'm super excited about because they just have a whole section and you can just go in there and just anyway, it's fantastic. But other than that, I would say that we will probably see you guys next Tuesday because we're kind of back on regular schedule.
Finally, it's been 2 holidays it's been Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve on the last Tuesdays. We
made it to 2025, y'all. We made it to 2025. 5.
Somehow.
It's time for this Chiefs playoffs run. It is time.
I'm going to repeat.
Mentally buckle up and get ready because this is the exciting time of the year and it's almost over. Only like 3 or 4 more weeks of this left. So enjoy the moment, Chiefs fans.
Crazy.
Soak it in, take it in, enjoy every day. Lots of love, lots of laughs, lots of smiles, and just be happy. Could be worse. Could be the Bengals.
It could be the Titans.
You could be the Panthers and been out 3 weeks ago.
You could be the Browns and searching for a new quarterback right now. You know, like it could be worse.
Done for the last 10 years. God bless y'all. God bless.
Patrick Mahomes, and we're so thankful that that's who we have to deal with for the next 15 years.
Well, anyway, again, shout out to y'all. Continue to like, subscribe, share, retweet on Twitter, and we'll see y'all later.
Please. And we'll see y'all, hopefully next Tuesday. Should be what we do. So, love y'all. Go Chiefs as usual.
Sayonara.